Hey guys, it's Morgan coming back to you with more content on the 2023 300XC. There's been lots of discussion, even here on this channel, about the fuel pump and how it works and how it's supposed to pick up gas and whether it's going to get all the gas out of it and all that stuff. So this is not here to determine the answer to those necessarily, although it might help us. But it is more to look into exactly how this thing works, what they're expecting, and all that, because it is really odd to me that they hope basically that that little bubble is going to catch enough gas as it bounces around. It's going to end up there, and then I don't know. So let's take the fuel pump out and take a look at it. It's completely new design from the old design that used to be came down here. I really like the idea that it's all up here. Electronics are here. Everything's here. That's really cool. It's a drop-in design. What I don't love is this whole thing where it might not. Anyway, so yeah, let's take this thing out. All right, so another thing, like all KTM fuel pumps that I don't like. I don't love the fact that these are the just coarse threaded like plastic screws. I don't love that. I wish there were inserts. Obviously there's problems with inserts too. They'll seize and all that. But it seems like there's less chance of that. And you can put, take them apart, put anti-seize when they're brand new, keep that from happening, versus these ones like stripping out. But whatever, we'll be careful. It is going to make replacing these fuel pumps way easier. And they are long. That's nice. They're a little bit longer. That's actually pretty cool. All right, so here, let's take a look. There we go. That's it. That is all there is to it. Not a lot to it. So this thing, hold on, sits on the bike about like that. So let's see. If we look in, here we go. You can look in, you can see the passageway where the gas is going to go. It's going to come out of that wing and into there, so it's going to be the same, over there. But once it gets below that, it's going to have to splash up and into that little divot, that little well that the pump sits in. Now, everybody is, Taco Mike is saying, yeah, it's going to splash up there, you're bouncing around. Agree that some of it will. Some of it's definitely going to come up. And hopefully if there's a void there, the little splashes up will come over and stay. And a friend of mine was just here today. We were talking about it, and he said, he asked, well, why wouldn't it splash out of that middle part? And it will, but I think that the pump being in there, it acts as a baffle to keep things from splashing out so quickly. It's going to act as like a natural baffle in there to keep, once the gas gets into that well, it's going to stay in the well. I don't know. It just is interesting. But what I'm thinking is that someone should get together with me and we should figure out a way to make basically a wing, or not a wing, but a piece that comes off of this and over into this side of the tank. So come down into here and just ride down in there with one of these filters on it. And because I don't think this goes all the way to the bottom. Let's see, I just want to take a look. Kind of hard to tell, but so yeah, no, there's not a lot of room, but I think there could be. I don't know, actually there might not be enough room to run it up the side. It's pretty tight. There's got to be a way to do it. But let's talk about this pump though real quick. Things I like about it, I think it's pretty cool. Again, I like the drop-in style. I think that's really slick. I think that's a pretty cool idea. I think there needs to be something maybe, and again, maybe this is not even a problem. Maybe this is a non-issue that we're trying to fix a problem that doesn't really even exist yet. And I will be testing mine, running it dry, at least until it stops at least. I just haven't had a chance. I've been sick. You can hear my voice. It sounds jacked up. So I haven't been able to get out and do that yet, but I do plan on doing that here pretty soon. I like the drop-in nature. I like this filter bag, seems legit and nice. It's got these like plastic feet on the bottom to keep it from rubbing and getting a hole in it, although I'm not sure it even touches the bottom all the way. But I like this pre-filter, seems good. And I think that's the only filter, because I don't see how you could have another filter inside here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's not enough room. So anyway, I like the compact design. It's got a plug-in for the wires right there, super easy to come loose, so you can rebuild this thing probably pretty easily. Yeah, I in general really like the pump. I think it's a good idea. I just hope that it's not an issue with, like the bike already gets pretty not awesome gas mileage. It would suck if you ran out before you actually ran out. So there you go, guys. There's the new design. Like I said, I don't think there's really enough room to run a line up. I mean, it'd have to be a really small, thin one, and then I don't know if it would flow enough gas. So that might not be a solution, at least not with this tank. Let's take a look and see what kind of room there is on the frame, because I don't think there is much. You can see this is where that little ball goes. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to get all the gas out of it? Do you think it's going to, the theory of the gas splashing is going to, up in there is going to work? Let me know what you think. Also, if you've already tested this thing and gone all the way to dry on one, I'd love to hear from you how long that was and whether or not you got most of the gas out of it. Because, yeah, like I said, it would just be a bummer to run out before you ran out. And it's not a big deal trail ride. You just lay the thing on its side, tip the gas, whatever. It's not that big a deal just trail riding. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about racing, because I'm talking about this thing as a race bike, which is what it was built for. Which is why I don't care about premix. I never did anyway, but I really don't care about premix on this, because, again, it's a race bike. It's not made to be pulled up to a gas station, put gas in it. So who cares if you have to premix? But yeah, the thing was intended to be a closed course race motorcycle. So running out before you run out could be a big situation if you're racing, especially if you're competing at the upper levels. It would suck to run out of gas. All right, I'm gonna put the tank back on, and let's take a look at it again and see kind of where it sits and see the angles and see if it see what we think about whether the gas is going to splash up there or not. All right, guys, so take a look at it. Got the side off. So as it sits, let's see, let's get this thing as upright as we can. Now, as it sits, if I'm looking at this thing right, we're already to the point of gas. It's hard for you guys to see maybe, but you can see there's no gas across that. So actually, theoretically, if we fired this thing up right now, you know what? Here we go. Everything's hooked up. Right? Yeah. Let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna let this thing run. Let it warm up first. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna rev it. I might go ride it a little bit around the parking lot here. Of course, it's not gonna be like an off-road situation like you would normally, riding and racing, things like that. But I got some bumps and stuff I can hit out there. Now let's just see how this thing does, because it should suck down the gas in that little bulb pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna put the shroud back on it, seat back on it, let it run for a little bit, and then we'll take it and ride it around. All right, guys, so I took it out. Fuel light did come on. You see, that's what that looks like, by the way. A little FI and it says fuel. And it came on actually as I was pushing it out. And then I rode it, and I could get it to go off if I'd kind of wheelie or pull hard. It would slosh gas and go back in there. But then it would come back on pretty quickly. And I don't know. Yeah, it's no for sure answers yet, unfortunately. But I can say for a fact that fuel light works. That's good. And I can tell you that it comes on early. It came on, like I said, with that thing. I mean, yeah, it's you can see it's getting low. Same with this side. There you go. So The light comes on early. Whether it's actually going to run out of gas, you know, hopefully it splashes around in there. I guess it's really going to depend on the kind of riding you're doing, how hard, how rough, and all that stuff. But like I said, we'll be testing, guys. It is definitely a concern. It's definitely on my mind as to what maybe a good fix for that is, or yeah, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like it. Stick around. We got lots more coming.